Good afternoon, this is Edward Salazar with JED Alliance. Today we're going to test the difference between a Putzmeister TK60HP and the older model, which is the cat creator. What are the main differences between these new pumps and the old style pumps? Thank you. Alright, so to address the differences between these cat creators and the TK60HP, which is the model you guys see right here, are going to be addressed by Mr. Harold Lee. So what do you think, Harold? What are the main differences between these pumps? I see the fuel tank is side mounted. What would you think that is?
They must have had a clearance issue with the diff cylinder, so now
So the diff cylinders on this, do you think they're bigger than the cat creator?
correct.
So does it pump more concrete?
Correct. It would be, I think they're about 5 yards more.
5 yards more? For 5 yards more, you need that much more clearance, huh?
Correct, yeah.
I got you. Now I see also the screen. Regarding this screen and the old screen, which is just basically an analog screen.
Correct. It was just for Deutsch, the older screen, and then this one's incorporated for Putzmeister. So
What does this screen do? What does it tell you?
It prompts you. It's got a couple of features. You turn the fan off. The stroke interchange is in F1 now. It's got an error program, and then you can turn some of the functions for delay. Meters
as far as where the hydraulic pump is. It gives you also temperature, I'm assuming. It gives you the throttle on this thing. I don't see a pull-out throttle, so I'm assuming it's all here. I got you. Now, what are these buttons here? What do they do on this one?
So just like a boom truck, it prompts you to hit the e-stop release. So you hit the e-stop release, you see it go off, and then you can start it.
And this is
that's to bring your accumulator online.
Bring accumulator. Also, you have to bring the accumulator online on these?
Yeah, just like a boom truck.
Just like a boom pump.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I mean, it seems like a lot more complicated than what they used to be. It seemed before they seemed to be so simple.
Yeah, for an operator, it's more user friendly. For a service deck, it's a little bit harder.
For an operator, it's better?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because when I ask him certain questions on the phone, he can give me the answer right on the screen versus bring a test light out and find out which cylinder is stuck and on which side, the rod side, the piston side. Is the fan working? It'll let you know if the fan's working.
Gotcha. Now I see a lot of the parts are still the same. The fuel, the hydraulic gauges, all of that stuff. The volume control, everything is the same. The filter seems to be the same kind. How about the hydraulic pump? Is it still a Rexrod?
Yeah, it's still Rexrod.
Still Rexrod,
yeah.
And it still has the piggyback pump. How about the electric valves? Are they basically the same principle?
Yeah, they're all forward. Yeah.
4 reversing valves. Oh, gotcha. About material cylinders, do you think they're a little bigger? The actual material cylinders, or just the diff cylinders are?
Just the diff cylinders. Yeah, they're the same as
the same as the other one. The engine now. What engine does this have? It seems that this is a TCD 2012. This engine.
2012. It's a tier 4, but no regen on it.
No regen? Got you. So is it a tier 4 or then a tier 3?
Tier 4. They made a 4 in 2 versions. They made it with the gen and without the regen.
Got you. Anything else?
This doesn't meet California.
This doesn't meet California. I got you. So you can use it anywhere else. Other than that, everything else seems to be the same. No?
Correct.
Any other changes? I mean, I see the outriggers are basically the same old thing. The only thing is this. The only difference is that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take the fuel tank off to access the nose bearing.
So if you wanna take apart the back end, you got to take the whole fuel tank out. Gotcha.
There's not enough clearance.
Gotcha. All right. Well, she is very pretty indeed. Also, I see the E-stops are a bit different, but nothing major. I mean, they're basically the same pump.
Yeah.
Basically, just the same machine, same axle, same everything.
Yeah.
I noticed that there were a lot more sensors. I was looking over here, right underneath here on the fan over there. They had a lot more sensors.
So that's to turn it off on the computer.
Oh, from the computer.
Yeah. So if you went, come on, you can turn it on manually. So when you turn, give me a second.
Okay.
here. Come
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah.
You can turn on manually now, and you can leave that on, and it'll tell you what you left on. And since you don't have it on, the auto dump comes on until you rev it up, and then you're gonna see it go away. It went away.
Right. Just like a boom pump. Now, what else do you have? What will be the other functions you can have in these squares? So I'm assuming these are the functions that are currently operating, right?
Correct. And you can set them up differently. You can have the squares in a different configuration: motor, setup, pump, service, pump, and that's what's in the squares.
Gotcha.
So when you turn the pump on, you'll see it. And then F1. Sorry. F1 now is your switch over.
That's the accumulator. What just built up.
That's your switch over now. You can set the RPM. It's got a fault code on it. In here would be your ID code, and then you can get in the parameters and turn off certain functions and leave them off.
Very cool. It's kind of like a vector system.
Kind of, yeah.
And it shows you which cylinder is pushing at this moment?
Yeah, it will. It's kind of like analog, you know, it'll switch real fast, but it shows you which side the F-tube's on and which side the diff cylinders are on.
Gotcha. Now, what about inside of this thing, in the back of it? How complicated is it in the back of it? Like, how to work in the back of this thing? I'm sure
it's the same. It's just the computer takes up a little bit more room, but it's the same way, same configuration.
It's basically the same.
Yeah.
It's got the same relays, K38 and all this stuff.
Correct.
Gotcha.
238.
238, I'm sorry. And the only thing is this computer, obviously, this screen is a little bit different. It manages a lot more stuff. Well, it seems a lot cleaner too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a lot more clean.
They have red lights now that indicate if the fuse has gone bad or the relay has gone bad. There's a light that stays on now.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, that's pretty much only the difference.
The only difference. I kind of like it, but I also see a little bit more. I see it to be a little more complicated for somebody who doesn't know how to operate it. There's a lot more to learn, especially on this screen.
Yeah.
If somebody's used to the old system, you just go.
Yeah.
You know. So.
And it cuts the functions out. I mean, they've got it even. There's going to be a sensor here. When you open up the door, it knows that the door is open.
Oh, so you won't let it pump.
Correct.
Ha.
Correct. So they got it all figured out.
They got that nice. All right. Yeah, this, like I say, it seems a lot simpler, but I think it takes a little more a longer learning curve to get accustomed to it. Another problem I think I potentially see is the fact that since everything is so electronic, if something goes wrong, now you're gonna have to call a technician of some sort to work on this electronically. I mean, it's not that simple. Don't we have a pump like this that we use that uses that engine, and every time there's a little mistake, a little air bubble or something, we have to call somebody with a computer to basically clear up the code?
Correct.
So that's another thing. I guess this doesn't run with coconut oil like the old ones.
No. Yeah, they're a little bit more sensitive.
More sensitive.
Therefore, yeah.
Gotcha.
They're more acceptable.
All right. Thank you.